It's Gotham, baby, and we've all got flair. Today we're going to make Gotham safe again and find out what we really, really want. It's A New Day Rising, Season 3, Episode 4 of Gotham. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, welcome to Gotham.
To eliminate the worst of the plague that
Lacretia's having a good time over here.
On the house, so how can it be that you have shown me the light? It's
Dr. Horrible.
You lost me.
The internet loves it.
Yeah.
We love it. And I feel like it was an appropriate song for this episode.
I got to pick.
Yes, and it is A New Day Rising. We're here, Gotham. We are not the normal faces you see.
Yeah.
You may have noticed that. I'm Joelle Monique. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Joelle Monique and every week on blackgirlnerds.com. Lovely panelist.
Yes, I am Lacretia Lyon, guys. So you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one.
Do not panic. Your normal panel is coming back to you.
Eventually.
We're just helping them fill out today. We might be back next week, and then it'll even out. But we're happy to be here with you. We're glad you guys are here. We're glad to have so many people in the chat. Hello, chat. How are we doing today? What an amazing episode of Gotham.
Yeah, the penguin just like Trump bits are just perfection, and then him and Nigma, you know.
The love, we're gonna get into the love because we're really feeling it. But we're just gonna go through this by story. So we're gonna start at the top. Our A story: Jim is trying to help Alice, but he cannot help himself. Poor Jim.
I know.
He's having a rough go of it. I thought maybe, was it last week when he slept with Vicky, and I was like, oh, like I like this pairing. I like them together. And then she was just like, no, that was fun, but I have to go. I have a job to do and actual career goals because I'm an actual person. Good job, Gotham. So it hurt a little bit, but I was glad he's getting on his feet. And now that he's been kind of hypnotized by Jarvis, he's unlocked some deep-seated things. Does Jim want to die?
Yeah, you know, and this goes back to our, Lucifer and how much I love sad guys. Because, like, Gordon and the drinking and the sadness and the possible killing himself is just so hot to me.
This really turned
and
you
then,
on.
yeah, it was, when you said Vicky, and I'm like, Vicky felt last Chuck reference, I swear, unless they bring it up. But yeah, I was like, it's actually Valerie, her aunt, in this show. Because Vicky bangs Batman later.
That's true. That is true. I was going to say something inappropriate, but I'm going to realize
like,
that it's late. My filters have gone, and we don't need to go down that route.
I was like, I put that so eloquently.
Yeah. We're here, guys. So then, as he's trying, Alice gives us these really terrible warnings about what her brother can do, and we've kind of saw it last week where Jim almost takes a dive off the roof. But it was much more sinister here. I was kind of terrified of Jarvis coming in after Alice was like, and then he will do anything to you. He has all the control. It was scary to me. Jarvis finds the Dumfries twins, quadruplets, two sets of twins. I'm here. Two sets of twins, older and younger. Luchador style, which, can we have to pause right here? I love luchadors in comics because I really feel like the two mediums go so well together. They have these big operatic style storytelling. And I love the costume designs for these guys. And I like that we had one that didn't talk. I thought this was like a really great way to reclaim what was done to Bane in the new Batman. I don't like the new Bane. I know it's Tom Hardy and he's gorgeous. I just don't care because Bane is a luchador and he should always be a luchador. I really like the idea of doing the Tweedle twins from Alice as luchadors. I thought it was a really great recreation of the characters. You got feelings about luchadors?
I do love luchadors. I like to buy masks and then wear them, in pictures.
Hopefully no one burns them when you want to be buried with honor inside of one.
Exactly.
Oh man, Bullock. Pulling the tough strings, like, I'll burn your mask. Which I thought, I was laughing through that whole scene just because usually you get like bodily harm or like, I'll tell your dirty secrets. And he's like, I'm going to burn this mask. It's serious. And I was like, these masks mean a lot.
And you know how much I love Harvey Bullock.
I know you do.
Dialogue, and then I love just his interpretation of Bullock, and that we're making Bullock a human that we actually like, as opposed to in the comics, we're like, he's a piece of shit.
Well, and we can touch on that because we get a lot of that in his... Okay, wait. Before I get there... Okay, so Lee Lee has a lot of interesting stuff happening in this episode. Like, I thought Lee was going to come back and be like, I really can't be near you. We've split, and it's okay. But in this episode, we get a Lee that I'm so excited to see, where she's just like, I had to move away from you because you were not there for me. The worst part of my life, I lived by myself, and then some great guy comes in, and he is supportive, and he is nice. But even though I've moved on from you, I am not abandoning you. I am not going to let you fall. I care about you still. But I can't be in love with you right now.
And I love Marina Baccarin anyway, because of Firefly, Deadpool, literally everything she's ever done. She's wonderful.
She's
and
an
like,
angel.
I was so happy when she came on as Dr. Lee, and I was like, don't kill her off, don't kill her off, don't.
I
And
really
then
thought she was gonna die too.
oh, me too. And then so and especially like in this episode where she is like, I moved on, but that's not letting go. And it's like, yeah, you're still in love with him.
Well, but I mean, how could you not be in
I
love?
know.
He's so cute, and then in real life, and I sense that. I like when actors are really in love in real life, and then they show up on my screen, and I'm like, this is it. This is happening, guys, and it's precious. But she, at first, is like, because they think Jim is trying to kill himself, which he is, so they're right. They're like, we're gonna put you on suicide watch for 48 hours. Lee signs off on it, but then off camera, she flips and goes to Harvey and is like, if you think you can save him, help him. But if he dies, I'm going to kill you.
I loved that because
It's so
I
great.
love the, Penguin and Riddler, or Enigma as they're calling him right now. It's just, their romance is great, but the original, Jim and Harvey.
It's so precious.
Bro.
Yeah, and when he opens it, and I'm like, oh no, Harvey, you're going to get in trouble. But then when I feel like he has Lee on his side, I'm like, oh, they'll be able to explain it because Lee is supposed to be the smart one. And they'll be like, but Lee said, and she's a psychologist, she knows. So I felt a little less scared. But I also like, as you were saying earlier about Harvey, how Harvey in the comics does all this ruthless stuff, and it's kind of just because he's a pig. But here he's got a lot of reasons behind, like, a cop who lets a guy who really should be on suicide watch out is going to get bad press, and it could blow up in his face. But because we know Harvey and we understand kind of what Jim is up against, it gives us it humanizes the moment for us, and I like it.
Yeah, I like Sky Patterson points out, just like I said, Harvey Bullock is very likable in Gotham. Not so likable in the comics. They put it a little nicer than I did, but yeah, and that's the thing is Bullock really does care about Jim in this show, and I like that.
They're precious. They're precious. So that's okay. So through Alice, we also get that Jarvis maybe molested her.
Yeah, that was pretty dark.
Yeah, I was not expecting us to go that dark. Storyline works okay for me because he's clearly a power-hungry guy who has no problem, making a man kill his beloved wife and then kill himself and bury themselves in the backyard. He is a dark, twisted character who I hope we spend a lot more time with for two reasons. One, I don't know that actor's name. I apologize. But
Let me look it up, 'cause
my gosh, he is pretty.
Yeah, he was on The Walking Dead. He was the wolf guy that
I remember now.
they kept in the basement. And
Yes. Oh my gosh, he's so pretty. Okay, I'm fine. I'm here. But also great actor and really twisted performance. And now that his beloved sister is gone, he said that was the only thing keeping him sane. Wasn't really sane before. But now crazy banana pants. So I'm looking forward to that.
yeah, and Boo 69B's really liked all the Alice in Wonderland stuff. Because most of the iterations I saw of the Mad Hatter throughout, Batman animated series, the comics and things, the sister Alice really wasn't always a part of it. So it's really interesting for them to bring that into it.
Yeah. I liked it too. I don't know how I kind of, whenever I see Alice in Wonderland, I expect production design to be huge, like explosive. And it seemed kind of tame here. It was okay. It worked. It read. But I kind of wish they had gone a little bit bigger, a little more into his delusion. But it's also early, and if you follow me on Twitter at all, I do give Gotham a lot of slack because I'm like, you're blowing your leads. Like I always want them to like build it up slowly because this is the origins. Batman's not even Batman yet. But this worked for me. It worked. I just big Alice. I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel like we're going to start to learn more about him since he is slated to be a series regular this year, and Benedict Samuel is his name.
Hi, Benedict. What's up? Say hey.
Yeah.
So Jim gets a chance to go after Jarvis. Alice is like, look, what? Okay, Jarvis, first, before Alice gets to escape, Jarvis pulls out a bunch of vials of her blood. A lot of blood. A lot of blood.
Yeah.
So, there's giant needles, and But he says basically, you'll do what I want, or I will release this blood into waterways or wherever it can get to people. Alice says, there's no way in hell I'm going back with you. You're crazy. And she falls out a window and is impaled and dies. Skip forward a little bit, and our beloved captain gets some blood on him, and it is not looking good. Also, this is such a better no than the Star Wars epic no at the end of episode 3, which was the first thing I thought of, because he's just, no. And I was like, oh, that's very affecting. I believe, like, you feel in that instant like his life has changed. Like, he's already gone from being this very, like, burly kind of like burst through the doors, like gonna make good change, to being beaten. We've seen him on crutches, certainly all of this season, I think a little bit of last season as well. You're right, because right at the end with the Penguin heist, and now he's gonna be deformed probably. He's apparently they're saying he's gonna turn into a monster. What kind of monster, we're not quite sure yet. And
that's a lot of the speculation. The chat is saying he could possibly be Bane, but I was like, no guys, he's gonna be Vic Mackey.
Oh
Shield
my
reference.
god.
Yeah.
So many options. I hadn't even thought of Bane, but I mean, we just get Ivy kind of coming into her own, and if they want to take on the storyline from the movies, they could certainly team up and do some stuff there. Interesting. I mean, to see him go villain so quickly would surprise me. I hope we don't get that till like the end of the season.
Me too, because I keep, as someone who loved the Shield and I love Michael Chiklis, I'm just like, I just can't see Vic Mackey as this good Captain Barnes. Like, I'm just like, I need him to plant a gun on a suspect. I need him to steal some drugs. I need Vic Mackey here. And like, so I can deal with Bane. And Sky Patterson, I do agree with you. Everyone should read Batman Year One. Great book.
It is a lovely book.
And we do host a comic book show on Book Circle Online, the AfterBuzz.
Check it out
sister
tomorrow.
network. Yeah, or it's Wednesday. At,
today is Monday. Again, I'm here, guys.
I know. And it's at 6 p.m. with me, Joelle, and you may know Frank Moran and Lex Michael as well.
They're also great nerds who do the great nerd after shows. So it's fun. We're going to be doing Flash this week. But Wendell Marshall, Solomon Grundy is an excellent call.
Oh, yeah.
It's an excellent call.
I heard a rumor that they were going to bring him on here. There was a mention, he was sort of on Arrow, but they haven't necessarily crossed over yet, and there's been some talk.
If Gotham wants to keep up their the speed of their show, Solomon Grundy's an excellent choice, because he died on a Monday, buried on Tuesday, rose on Wednesday. I mean, we could literally every show to show him further progressing into Solomon Grundy. Wendell, thank you. I love it. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up that story. Yeah, Jim and Lee have a good talk, and they kind of feel good. Jim is able to break Jarvis's curse. He shoots the clocks, or the metronome. So Jim's okay at the end. Our beloved captain, not so much. Okay, so then we get to make Gotham safe again, which, as we already pointed out, the parody of this, first of all, yay digital, because in like 20 years ago, we never be able to do it this timely, this quickly, except for on SNL. And I like that we're able to bring a little bit of real world, like crazy banana pants into the, like, where we can like really identify with Gotham and be like, what is even happening? We literally, 2 people who were criminal psychopaths released maybe a month ago are now in charge of the city. The poor police. And we have this great rivalry between Butch and Edward, which I have been waiting for. It was the fight I didn't really know I wanted, but when it came about, I was like, oh, yes, definitely this. The 2 best friends. If you've ever been in a trio of friends, you know it always comes. You have that one super cool friends, and 2 friends are fighting over, like, I'm the best friend. It's cute that you're here and I like you, but let's not forget the hierarchy system here. I'm the best.
And I love Butch. And I feel so bad for him because he's lost Tigress, Tabitha. They don't call her that yet on the show. But yeah, he's lost her. And Barbara doesn't even really let him around because she's hitting that now. And we've got poor Butch. Now he's on the outs with Penguin, too.
Butch is going to be fine. Like, I have predictions about Butch. Butch is, okay, Barbara's too crazy, I think, for Tabitha. Like, I just think, like, this is a good, safe place right now. They're in the club, they make some money.
And crazy girls are fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And she's not under anyone's thumb. But if Butch comes back, Butch will serve her. Butch will raise, like, if she wants to start an empire on her own, Butch will be her right-hand man. He already knows how to do it. He's good at it. And the last couple of times they've met up, they seem to be on good terms. So I don't have any fear for Butch right now. But I love Edward and Penguin. In last episode, when Penguin pops his head out of the limo, favorite moment in all of Gotham history. The minute him just releasing Edward from prison, when he's just like, oh, hey. And I was like, this is magical.
That was so cute. And my favorite thing is how they framed their sanity certificates. I really want one of those. So, like, I'm starting to look on eBay. Or maybe they could make me my own, like, Arkham Asylum sanity certificate. Because I have a place on my wall that needs to have that.
Yes, please. If a fan, has some time and wants to make one, Lacretia and I are here to graciously accept your hard work and love.
I like Ivan Soto. Barbara is a mother forking. Thanks for already bleeping that for us. Harley Quinn. And then we just keep talking about the Shield, which is definitely a much watch, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Edward and Penguin. Yes, they. Edward starts to suspect Butch is up to no good. He's like following him around. He's like, what's this exchange of money going on? And then he tries to convince Penguin to get get Butch to back off. He's like, you need to not let him do that. And he tries to set it up in his way, in his riddly way.
No.
But Penguin doesn't have time for this mess. He wants to win. He's gotten a little bit of taste, and now he's not even mad with power, but he's just obsessed with winning. And he'll do whatever he has. He has the means to, so why not? But I love what Gotham gets so right to me is, like, villains are always my favorite of the DC properties, and they give them the best stories. Like, the fact that Edward was able to think far enough ahead to be like, no, you need to know that you could just win this by yourself. You don't need money. You don't need these politicians. The people are with you. Wow. And it was such an emotional, like, I was completely bowled over by how emotional and in love, like, these guys felt. Like,
Romance.
it's love. What is the...
It's guy love between two guys. Scrubs musical. I love musicals, apparently.
Musicals are great. So then at the end, of course, when Penguin realizes he can win on his own, it's bye-bye. But, I mean, not really. Penguin sets Edward up with the chief of staff position, which, again, what? And crazy and not good for Gotham. But very excited for viewers.
Yeah, and like you said, villains are some of the best parts of DC Comics. That is why, I am a little more partial to DC than Marvel, because I love villains, and I love learning about them. And so, to me, this origin story and the relationship between Penguin and the Riddler, it's just so wonderful to see it develop and them to, make Gotham great again.
That tagline is just perfection. Yeah. So Butch is hurt in his feelings. He doesn't really have a choice much. But I also think this is the best choice for Penguin because it seems like the gangsters are now so ingrained with Butch. We have that bar scene really quick where he's like, we're going to run the city. And I'm like, Butch, you're number 2. Like, slow, like, Edward, or Penguin's not here to enjoy and to be seen as number 1. Like, I feel like you're doing a lot. And it concerned me because Penguin is number 1.
Oh.
I think Edward, for now anyway, knows his place and will be a really good number 2. It'll be interesting to see as he dissolves more into the Riddler, how that power shift will happen. So moving on to the C story, Bruce's doppelganger, which has been fun and the source of a lot of theories, and I'm very, very excited to dive into this. What was your initial first impression of the doppelganger?
I really thought that was great because it really gives David Mazouz some really good material to work with because he is like literally the most phenomenal actor on the show, and he's just such a child, but he's so precocious where you're like, oh my god, we can so see him being Batman later. And then the C story, Richard Kind is the mayor who lost, and the Scrubs reference. Okay, we're just pretty much shouting out Bill Lawrence today.
Hey, I was just floored, first of all, with, I think it's great when you can instantly tell the same actor being 2 different characters, and you can tell the characters apart, which we've seen Tatiana Maslany do in Orphan Black for a long time, and she's infinitely successful at it, apparently.
That big Emmy win this year.
Yes.
Finally getting a nod for that hard work she does.
Finally. But to see someone so young do it so well has been really awesome. And then we get to see his doppelganger go off by himself, which is kind of great because he does a lot of things with Selena Kyle that we don't get to see. Like, how does Selena Kyle react to a Bruce who's willing to fight and hurt people and it doesn't second guess about that kind of stuff? Like, it seemed to me that she was very, I don't want to say excited by it, but just like, oh, you have it in you. You're a survivor. It's like a new level of respect on her part before she knew that, you know, you're not Bruce.
Yeah, that was so funny whenever she figured out.
yeah, right at the top of her, she's just like, no, you're not. You don't have to lie about it. But what's cool is that she doesn't really flinch. Like, she's been through so much. She gives that great speech about how, like, everyone I know, like, I never knew my dad. My mom ran away when I think she said when she was still in a stroller. You know, her best friend was emulated herself and you know, fire and flames and awful. And then the other one fell in a river and she doesn't know where Ivy is yet. So she's in a low place, but she's so, like, open and ready to accept this new Bruce. And I liked their conversation. And then we get the biggest moment. Selena and Bruce kiss, and it's not actual Bruce, and now I'm very concerned about what's happening in this world.
Well, it was cute, and I did love, my favorite line that she said was, yeah, you're not Bruce, you're not nearly as messed up as he is. And
Yes,
it's like, this
truth.
guy's pretty much well a Blake Slate, and just learning, and has been tortured into this Indian Hill thing by Dr. Hugo Strange. But no, that's still not as screwed up as Batman.
Well, and you know, by not having all the things that Bruce, he has none of the limitations, and so he's able to take that kiss. But I've had a very Peter Pan moment right after the kiss where I was like, you stole that kiss. That kiss belongs to Bruce. How dare you? And now I have very mixed feelings about this kid. Soon afterwards, when Alfred and actual Bruce stumble upon this kid, we discover that he's kind of superhuman. Like, we already knew he couldn't feel pain. But now he's jumping from, like, 5-story buildings onto them in superhero pose.
And just running off.
Yeah, and he feels very powerful and very into himself, and I respect it. But then, he runs into the Court of Owls lady.
Oh.
Who scares me.
And that's pretty cool. And a lot of the chat has been speculating that he could be Lincoln March.
Yes, which is Hush. Spoiler alert if you haven't read Hush, but get on it because it's a classic and it's epic. But that would be interesting to me, I guess. I really prefer it where Hush is just like a childhood friend that you then kind of get all these like an Owl's experience, but it might be a good crossover. I'm hesitant to change things from the original. I'm trying not to be such a fanboy in that where I'm like, what have you done to my original comic book? You know, because if you're going to do a new medium, and we've just so many iterations, you might as well try to tell the story differently. But it hits me wrong. Chat, tell me how that hits you. Do you want Doppelganger Bruce to be Hush? Do you want him to... Well, I know we heard some other predictions.
Yeah, there was, he was Thomas Wayne Jr., which was...
Oh, my God.
I was like, could be.
Oh, my God. But the Court of the Owls lady does say, you can think of us as your parents. So my initial thought was clone. Like superhuman clone, like maybe I'm not 100% sure. And he's never been outside of the walls. So yeah, lab baby. I'm gonna go lab baby. I put my money down there. But now I want to get to some questions for us because I have a lot of questions. And chat, you guys are, you're a co-host and we need you.
I know. I'm really loving the Tatiana.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Zatanna. Like, I'm like, as much as I've always pushed for Pratchett Brewster, that would be awesome too.
Yes. Ivan Soto does it. Tommy Elliott is Hush. Excuse us. We were totally wrong. Lincoln Marches. Oh man, we're back with everybody. Yeah. So sorry. That's a bad Joelle. Okay. Okay, so questions I had for us. Could Doppelganger Bruce replace Bruce? Here's where I come into that thought process. They look exactly alike. I think that if Alfred lost real Bruce, he would definitely pick up Doppelganger Bruce and be like, no, I got this. Do-over. And I also feel like he's got all these superpowers. And he felt more like the crime fighter Batman. Whereas the Bruce we've been living with is definitely Detective Batman, which, yes, I love seeing Batman get to solve actual detective cases and be on the hunt for information.
He is the world's greatest detective.
You should see that more often. But to see, I kind of lost my train of thought there. Yes, so he's a detective, but new Bruce is kind of a crime fighter. Like, we haven't really seen him we saw him do the one fight scene and we saw him do the jump from the roof, but to me, That's all you really need in a crime fight. Those two scenes are pretty epic.
And this is me. Like, this is where my brain goes because I love Christopher Nolan. And I'm like, it's the Prestige. There's two of them. They just, like, and then no one knows that they're two of them. They can just switch roles.
You know what? I like that
Spoiler
idea
alert.
better
Whoop.
because this is a much easier way
Yeah.
to keep both the Bruce Wayne persona and Batman because they both have full lives. And I'm like, there's no way one man just does not sleep, takes that big of a pouting every single night, and then is up to, like, flirt with the ladies and run a company in the morning. I'm not, that's the only part of Batman I find unbelievable.
Yep. Yeah, now I explained it. I mean, Christian Bale already did it in another movie, guys.
I love
Ben
it.
Affleck, that's your move.
Let's see, Doppelganger Bruce has scars, real Bruce does not. He couldn't replace Bruce. I mean, how many people would know? Like, Alfred knows that there's two of them, so if original Bruce dies, again, I still think he'd take it in, and it doesn't really seem to matter to anyone other than Selena Kyle.
Yeah.
Like, Bruce doesn't have a lot of friends or a lot of connections, and the scars are easily hidden. I don't
unless
think
you
he
can
could do
make
it secretly without us knowing. I think the audience would be aware at some point if they let us see his scars. But I just mean, like, in the world. Like, if for some reason the show, and I know this is a crazy theory, guys, but just roll with me here. I like the idea of actual Bruce dying and now his doppelganger taking over his life and trying to fit into the world. Because to me, like, the disassociation Batman has with people, like, it would just solve a lot of issues for me. It's a crazy question, but I appreciate you guys tuning in there, trying it out with me, following me down this path. Next question. What happens to Bruce now? Or Butch. What happens to Butch now? I kind of speculated a little bit earlier on this about maybe he goes back to the club and is like, hey, ladies, I need another job. But what happens what do you think, like, if he were to stay? Do you think he'll stay on and try to fill the kind of, like, lackey position?
I feel it, he feels so hurt and betrayed for no longer being Penguin's number 2. He is going to go to the ladies and be like, hey, I can be your bodyguard. And I'm pretty sure that they're like, yeah, we could use it. I mean, Mad Hatter wasn't here making Barbara crazier last episode. So they need some big, strong men in there.
Yeah, okay, all right. I could see that. I also wonder if Butch might go in it for himself. Like, you have this kind of cool, like, epic supervillain hand now. I don't know. I want to see Bruce Campbell and get, like, a chainsaw and just go to town on people and, like, really embody a full villain.
See, that would be really cool. But I feel like Butch is not really a chainsaw man. He'd be more like a baseball bat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe like a giant mallet.
Yeah, or like a billy club. Something, it
I
has
like
to be
that.
a little bit. He's got a little bit mob vibe to him.
Okay,
You know.
yeah, I dig it.
Yeah.
it. Maybe just a giant, like, metal fist that he just punches through people. Let's see if I think Butch might want to get rid of Edward. Yeah, that is also good. I mean, we just skip over all of the rational things.
Yeah.
It's just go to crazy.
He'll probably try,
But
but
yes, B69Bs. I bet that Butch does want to get rid of Edward. And I'm sure that is his next one. But okay, so then that brings up another interesting point. We were talking about, like, Luke Cage versus Daredevil fight styles a lot. And how, like, Daredevil is so pretty and eloquent when he fights. But Luke Cage is like, and bulldoze. And it's really cool to see the two different types. Now, Edward is obviously a thinker. Butch is more macho. I wonder how that fight goes down. I wonder if he tries to rise up to Edward's level and outthink him. Or if he's just, like, tries to, like, I wonder how Butch will approach taking down Edward.
yeah, because Butch did have sort of a lobotomy, so it's gonna be really hard for him to get on Edward's thought level.
But he's good with people. People like him and have this
I know, I
strange
love
desire
Butch.
to protect
Yeah.
him. Yeah, like, I would kind of feel like the need to protect Bruce, like, or Butch. Like, excuse me, back down. Like, this is just a kind guy who could kill you if he wanted to.
James Atmir Dermain says, Butch must win back the heart of Tabitha. And then Ivan said, I was like, Butch is a follower, not a leader.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is maybe through his follower status, he starts, like, rounding up some of the villains to help, pit a party against. Because, okay, also now we have to think, if we're following this Trump through line with the Penguin, now he's in office, he doesn't really have a plan.
Yeah.
We have not talked
It's
about,
much
like, what
like
do you
Mr.
do?
Garrison.
Yeah.
On South Park.
Oh my god, this season is crazy.
And Sky Patterson and Bruce 69Bs are like, Metal Fist, Iron Fist?
Oh, you
And
guys.
it's like, wrong comic book universe, unfortunately.
Come on,
And
come on.
He's got to hang out with Luke Cage later.
Yes. My final question for us.
Yeah.
Barbara is doing some interesting things. I adore Barbara.
Me too.
I like sane Barbara. I like crazy Barbara. There's really no, like, just the fact that you're going to be Batgirl's mom makes me excited. Like, I'm like, you're carrying her inside of you and you don't even know it yet. Like, she's coming into this world. Barbara Gordon as Batgirl is one of my favorite characters ever. I like that we're seeing, if you read the comics, you know, Barbara's brother is crazy and gets stabby. And we're seeing a lot of both of those characters within her now. And, of course, in order to have either of the children, she's got to get back with Jim. And we get a little bit of that here when he goes to her. And she's like, you know, oh, I'm so tired of you guys coming in here and making demands. And she's like, oh, but I'll give you what you want. Don't be mad. It's clear to me Barbara is obsessed with Jim.
Yeah.
Do you think Jim has reached such a low point that it'll let Barbara back in his life?
I don't think so. And for most of the iterations of I knew Barbara Gordon as Jim's daughter, Barbara Keene was not her mom. He named his daughter after his ex-girlfriend. I think it was weird, but
Really?
yeah.
To go back, I would the Batgirl with starring Barbara's that I've read are Gail Simone's latest ones, and I have a very vivid memory of her mother being named Barbara too, but I could be very wrong about that. Chat, feel free to correct this if I'm wrong. Interesting. Why? She's crazy. Then does she die? And does he have... Oh my gosh, I have so many predictions.
Yeah, because to me, it's just like the Barbara Keene character, and that's why I say, how's he going to name his daughter after her with all this stuff? And that's why I feel like she's going to make the ultimate sacrifice, and be a hero at the end. And then because we know that, you know, Batgirl, the Barbara Gordon, Jim's daughter in the comics, is going to be younger than Bruce, much younger. So I don't think we'll ever get that, except maybe in the last thing, pregnant.
Chat,
but yeah.
would you like to see her in the Harley costume? Now, we know she's not, you know, Harley Quinzel, but we definitely get the crossovers, and we know we got Jerome as the Joker earlier, and we've seen these other characters kind of take on future personas that we know what they'll become. I'm curious, would you like to see her slip more into the Harley Quinn persona? I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I like the blonde crazy, and I like where she's at now. I know the show takes me for such a ride. I don't really kind of care what they do until after it's already done.
And to me, with Barbara and Jerome, I don't need them to be definitively the Joker and Harley Quinn, especially because with the Joker, the mystery of the Joker is what makes him so iconic.
I agree. Don't give the Joker a backstory.
Yeah.
I don't care about it.
And that's the thing is like, or with Barbara being Harley, I was like, no, it's Dr. Harley and Quinzel. I'm great for that, but hey, you know what? Let's not make Barbara her, even if they have similarities, because we already got one in the movies. We had a little tidbit on Arrow. They could bring that back.
Okay.
I'm okay with Harley Quinn not being in this universe yet.
I agree. Okay, predictions? Yes, let's do those. Removing predictions for next week. Co-panelists
Your AfterBuzz TV.
who are following us live now, or, you know, later if you're watching, and do you want to throw your predictions up for next week? We'd love to read them. Do you have predictions for next week?
Oh, let's see. I'm liking a lot of the stuff that people are saying in the chat about the potential for Captain Barnes, because that's the thing is, I was like brainstorming on the way here, you know, who is he going to become? Because, I mean, you've got such a talented actor, Michael Chiklis, who I most know as Vic Mackey. And I was always weirded out by him being a good cop. So I'm like, I don't know if we're going to get like a specific sort of Batman villain trajectory, or he's just going to start being more like Vic Mackey. And I think I'm cool with that.
I respect it. I feel like we're going to see Lee try her damnedest to correct this. If they save any vials of blood, they might be able to come up with a cure before anything happens. We don't know how long it takes, though her reaction time, Alice's reaction time when people touched her blood was wicked fast. She was like, and you must burn now. We cannot wait. Monsters will happen. But I have a feeling we're going to get to see Lee go into medical science-y, maybe with her fiance coming in to try to save the day, which would be pretty cool. I'm curious about what's going to happen to Jim next. Jim has been in such a just a kind of spiral lately with drinking, and then we get this kind of great speech between him and the captain today about, you know, like, you could tell me anything, son, and you have to be, you know, you could talk to me. And then Jim's like, we're just two citizens, because he's very dark. I hope that we start to see him turn around, like maybe the captain being poisoned will make him have to rise to the challenge and put the uniform back on, take back the badge.
Yeah, and that's what I see is at least by the end of the season, Jim will be back in the police department. I don't think right away, and I do feel like, Mario, being Falcone's son is really going to come into play and how Jim's going to react to that. And it's sort of like, I so suspected that Lee was going to be with a villain because we know that can't last because we want Dr. Lee with Jim Gordon.
They're in love in real life.
Yeah. And Boo69Bs point out that Barbara Keene is, sometimes Batgirl, Barbara Gordon's mother.
I love you so much, Boo69Bs. I hope I can say that. I love you. You're amazing. You help us.
Yeah, she died in a car crash. And I was like, in that iteration, she dies giving birth. In the car crash, starts the birth. That's why he names her after Barbara. I was like, in that one, that is true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Dope. Other predictions. Butch is going back to the ladies. Mm-hmm. He needs help. He can't do it by himself. Butch is a team player. And it'll be interesting to see if Barbara tries to win Jim back. She's been pushing up on him. She's always flirty. We were reminded recently that she will go nuts if rejected. But there's really no place to put her right now. I mean, it's kind of overrun. You can put her in there, but that would be sad. I don't want Barbara to go back. Like they almost sent Alice. That part upset me. I didn't like that they almost sent Alice upstate. They were just like, we don't know what's wrong with her, so we're sending her to the crazy place upstate. What? No. What? But yeah, that's with us. These are our predictions. Batwoman is a lesbian, Sky Patterson. I was like, yeah, that did happen.
And they use Invoke Dick Grayson, who's one of my favorite characters.
If you guys would like a history lesson in Batman's family within the comics, you can go to our chat on YouTube right now and get a really in-depth lesson. That's so dope. You guys are awesome. I have been Joelle, Monique. I was your host tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed having us today. Your regular panel will be back. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Joelle Monique and every week at blackgirlnerds.com. Please check nerdsofcolor.org. Check my review of Birth of a Nation. You can go to my Twitter right now and see my early reactions to Doctor Strange. Check us out Wednesdays when we do the Comic Exchange. And Sunday I do Westworld.
Yeah, I'm Lacretia Lyon, guys. You can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet since there is only one. And for the Comic Book Exchange, Wednesdays on Book Circle Online, AfterBuzz TV's sister network for books. Since you guys are our comic book people, be sure to check that out live at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as Legends of Tomorrow is finally back on Thursday. You guys will see us. We will be live at 10 p.m. PST.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Batman!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.